It is September the 1st. We are back to day one again. The whole leaderboard is reset. We're back to zero. So it's time to make this a good month. And I'm going to be going away to Miami in about 5 days time. So this video is actually going to be cut a bit short. I'm going to cut this one on Friday. And then we're going to do like a whole vlog specifically just for Miami. So this is going to be a bit of a shorter one. But we're going to try and get a good start to the week off at least here. I kind of screwed up my calendar, so I didn't really get too many calls booked in for today. But yeah, got a bunch of prep for things to do for Miami because I'm going to be taking a bunch of time off work. So anyway, had a chat with the team this morning. It is Labor Day in the US right now, so technically no one's supposed to be working, but you know how it is. If there's an opportunity to make some money, then everyone's going to want to make some money. Just hopped off a call this morning as well with one of the coaches from Easy Grow. That's the program I'm in that's teaching me how to do lots of agency stuff. And basically I was talking about how to reach out to these businesses considering there's not like thousands of different people in the niche that I'm reaching out to, right? For coaching businesses, for people that run, some sort of coaching offer, there's not like hundreds and thousands of different businesses that I can reach out to. People that are actually doing 50K, 100K a month and beyond. And actually not doing something scammy, like not doing some like dodgy trading offer, but actually people that have good fulfillment, they provide a good service. Those are the people that we want to help. And so I was talking about how to really reach out to businesses if there's not loads of different people in your niche. And the way you do it, the less people that are in your niche, the more personalized you make the outreach, right? So if there's like 1 million people in your niche, you can afford to just go pure volume, less personalization. Because by just doing more volume, you're going to end up hitting enough people and enough people are going to reply, right? The conversion rate is going to be lower, but it doesn't really matter because there's just so much volume. But for me, I can't afford to just reach out to like 500 people a day and blast them out because there's only like 500 people in my niche. And so because of that, if there's only that many people in my niche, I don't want to hit them all in one day and then with some really cookie cutter message, no one responds or maybe 1 or 2 people respond. That's pointless. I have to make sure that every single person I reach out to, every part of that messaging, every single stage of the outreach is very personalized. And not just on one platform, not just on Instagram, but it has to be on Instagram, on LinkedIn. I have to cold call them. I have to text them, email them. I have to do basically hit them on every single platform that they're on. That way you have like a multi-channel, fully personalized approach so I can really get the most out of these 500 leads. So that's kind of the approach for reaching out. And it's a bit different to how you'd usually do it, right? If you're doing traditional SMMA, like social media marketing, and you're reaching out to, let's just say like electricians. There's so many electricians, you don't need to do that approach. So whenever you're reaching out, it really depends on who you're reaching out to. So anyway, that's all going to start very soon. I literally have the list of potential clients ready to go. Just going to start that process. But I have a few things to do today for like the whole sales team and for the consulting team. So I've got to make sure I get those things done first before I can really focus on that, because I don't want to be doing stuff related with the agency on company time, if that makes sense. I want to make sure that during the day, I'm doing all the things that have to be done for what I do right now. And then outside of those hours, let's say after 7, 8 p.m., I can kind of focus more on agency stuff. That's how I like to do it. And although the team doesn't really mind too much, that's how I prefer to do things, So that's just a quick overview for what I'm going to be doing. And so, yeah, time to get to work. It's the first of the month. And what that means is that I have to change around, and I just have changed around the entire accounting sheet for everyone's closes, for everyone's closed deals, for keeping track of all the metrics. I basically have to do like a full reset on the whole thing to update it for this month's stats. So that just took me like an hour. Just one of those things you have to do like once a month. Got to confirm commissions with everyone, make sure everyone's good so everyone gets paid on time. And I have also finished building the list of 100 ideal clients to work with for the agency stuff. So outreach can officially start. No more procrastination. I'm just gonna start doing it. I'm not gonna lie, I've been going to bed way too late recently. It's not sustainable, it's not consistent. Well, actually, it is consistent, but it's just consistently way too late every single day. And part of me wants to do it again. And I get this like thing that almost a voice in the back of my head that says, because you stayed up late yesterday, because you did that yesterday, oh, it's fine just to do that now. That's your new standard. That's what you need to do. And so it's like 5 a.m. in the morning right now, and it doesn't even feel late because it's normal. Like, usually, if I was in a good routine and, it was like 2 a.m., I'd be like, damn, I gotta get to bed quickly because, like, it's late. Whereas now it gets to like 5 a.m. and I'm like, oh, it's pretty early because I'm used to going to bed like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. So right now, although I get that voice in my head saying it's early, and it's like 5 a.m. right now, I just have to literally tell myself no. Like, it is too late. 5 a.m. is not a normal time to go to bed. And I understand I don't work on a normal schedule, but like, it's too late. It means I end up sacrificing sleep. I don't get to the gym on time. I've ended up skipping the gym for the last couple of days. This morning I did get on the exercise bike we have on here. We've got like a watt bike at home. And those things are really good, actually. Don't be wrong. But I need to stay focused on the vision, the mission, because ultimately the version of myself that's making 100k a month, he's not going to bed at 7 a.m. every single day. Let's be real. He's going to bed at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. whilst he's in the UK. Latest, he's locked in, he's dialed in with everything. And that's what I need to be doing too. So if you compound things that aren't good for you, if you compound things like going to bed late, it just becomes your new normal. And what that means is then the next day, when it gets to, let's just say you set yourself a time of going to bed at 3 a.m. The second it gets to 3 a.m., if you've been consistently going to bed at like 5 a.m., all that's going to happen is it's going to get to 3 and you're going to think, oh, it's early. It's early. I don't need to go to bed yet because I didn't do that yesterday. I didn't do that the day before. But you have to break that pattern. You have to break the cycle. And so that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm literally finishing this end of day report right now and going to head straight to bed. No more checking my phone. No more doing those things. I'm going to wake up and immediately not check my phone, go straight to the gym because that's what the version of myself should do. I've been going on Instagram Reels too much lately. I've been using my phone for social media too much lately. One, because I kind of have to. I hate having Instagram on my phone, but I kind of need to be able to do the work that I'm doing, DMing, reaching out to people, prospecting. I need to do that through Instagram. And on your computer, it doesn't quite work the same. But anyway, time to break this pattern, time to break this cycle. Although every part of me right now is like, oh, it's fine. Like, it's just another couple of hours. Like, you've been going to bed at 7 a.m. It's fine. Like, you'll make it work. You can still make money. No, that's an end to it. So I'm going to go to bed within the next 10 minutes here. I'm going to go to bed. It's going to be like 10 past 5 in the morning, going to bed. That means I can wake up at, let me do the math here, on the sleep that I can get. So if I get 8 hours of sleep, that means I can, that's 1 p.m. But the thing is, 1 p.m. means that this is another thing. I wake up at 1 p.m. What happens is I then go to the gym. I come back from the gym and I don't have enough time to like have a shower and, eat food. So I end up eating my food on a morning meeting. I end up not showering until after the morning meeting, which means I waste then half an hour of time that I should be working, right? Whereas if I can just get to the gym at 12, that means I can get back at like 1:30, shower up, get, eat food, have everything else, be completely ready for the day before the morning meeting starts at 3, and then I'm good. It's going to save me by literally going to bed and cutting out the extra hour of time, which I'll be honest isn't ridiculously productive. That's going to be the thing that literally buys me back 2 hours of time more. Okay, that took a little bit longer than expected, but I finished all the EOD stuff, all the end of day reports, and I've also just been chatting to one of our sales guys, who's just talking about like managing his time better, because he's really good naturally, but like honestly not that many people. He has a big dream outside of sales too, so he's like trying to manage time that he's spending on sales and then also managing time that he's spending like building his own like future with all the things he wants to do, not just sales related. which is fair enough. And as someone who's managing him, I have to respect, obviously, he has his own goals and things that he wants to do. And I think that managing people can be done a lot better when you really understand people really well. Because also, if you want to influence someone's opinion, then you have to understand where they're at. Because if you don't understand where they're at, then they're not going to take you seriously, and they're not going to listen to your advice. So I resonate with him well because I'm in the same way. Sales is not the end goal for me, and so I can level with him on that fact. And because of that, he actually listens to me because I can resonate with what he's saying. Because if I just turn around and say to him, "Oh, you shouldn't be focused on doing anything else. You should just focus on doing sales because that's where you make the most money and that's where you do blah 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 blah," it's just going to go straight over his head because he's not going to care, right? He's going to say, "Well, he doesn't get it. He doesn't understand what I'm doing. He doesn't understand what I'm building. Why would he? He's just managing me. Like, he just wants me to perform at my, best on this and doesn't care about my future and my vision." And that's not how it works. To manage people well, what I found is that you have to actually understand their point of view, understand really where they're coming from, understand their goals and what they want to achieve. And you want to just try and find ways of aligning their goals with the goals of the company or and my goals too, right? If he performs better, I get paid more, right? But what that means, he also has to be happy and he has to be willing to work. And the way that I can encourage him to work more is by not necessarily taking time away from those other things that are going to make him maybe more money in the future, because he's working on these other projects, these other things that he's doing to further his own future. The real thing is okay, now I understand his situation. He's doing sales with us. He's also working on his own future. But I also know some of the other habits and things he has. And I'm like, okay, so what can we do here to try and figure out where I can help him to make more money with us, right? How can I help him free up some of his time? And a typical manager would probably just say, well, take time, don't keep on focusing on these projects. They're stupid, just focus on spending time here with us. But he's not going to listen to that. Whereas if I can help him with time management, getting better at some of these other things he's doing, some of these other habits that he has, some of these other things that can be improved without taking away time from the projects that he's actually focused on, and also whilst giving more time to us in the company, then I feel like that's really good management. Because that way it still aligns with his goals. He's now more excited because he can think, okay, I still have time for that. I still have time for this. I can make more money here, and I get rid of my bad habits at the same time. Okay, that's a win-win-win-win. I make more money, the company makes more money, he makes more money, and he's more focused on the things he wants to do. So it's like everyone wins, right? Whereas if I just come in and I don't understand his situation, and I just look at him and say, yeah, you're not locked in, you need to be doing more work, you should be taking time away from doing those things, and you should just be doing it here. What does that end up doing? He's then going to start resenting the company more. He's not going to enjoy working here as much. He's going to want to spend less time here and make less money here. He's going to make less money personally, and it's all a disaster. So I think good management really first comes from understanding people, their vision, their goals, where they want to go, and understanding them on an individual level. That way we can problem solve together to figure out what is the best solution for him to make the most money. How can we align his goals with our goals and my personal goals too? And that way we're all on the same page and we're all fighting the same battle. Just a quick update on what I'm doing with my studies too. I'm literally about to officially drop out right now, because what I did last year, for anyone who doesn't know, is I started university back in 2023, the 2023-24 academic year. Did my full first year. I was studying economics and management at Bristol University in the UK. And I got pretty good results, honestly, but that's when I was starting all the stuff that I'm doing now. I was literally putting in a ridiculous amount of hours into all that whilst doing my studies. And I pretty much had no social life, no nothing. I just fully committed to, doing this business stuff, sales stuff, consulting stuff, all of this. And what I did then, I made some pretty decent money over the summer after those studies ended. And I basically told myself, if I can make 10K in a month, then I'm not going to go back to study back in September when the new term starts. And so I really made it my mission to go as hard as I could. And I got to, I think, 9.8K in August. And I was like, that's close enough. So I put in my form to withdraw because there was no point in me dropping out when I could just suspend my studies. So in August, at the end of that 9.8K month, what I did is I then put in a, not a withdrawal notice, but a suspend. So then after the August big month that I did, the 9.8K, at that point, I then submitted my, not withdrawal letter. So then what I did after that big month of making 9.8K in August is I then submitted my suspension notice. And what that meant is that it then suspended my studies for a whole year, which still saved all my progress at university in case I ever did want to go back. But then it also meant that I didn't have to pay back student loans. I didn't have to do any of this kind of stuff. It would just suspend my studies for a year. Now, the other day, what I tried to do is I tried to suspend my studies for another year because I thought that's just easier than having to, go through the whole sort of dropping out process. And also just because, there's no point closing a door if I don't need to close it yet. Not that I would ever consider going back to university, but I thought, why not? But it seems like it's a pretty complicated process to do it for a second year because it's not something they typically do. I'm sure there's a way of doing it. If I fought hard enough, I can make it happen. But I don't know if I want to put that much time and attention to it. So for that reason, I've just filled out my official withdrawal form. And this is the email I'm going to send. So hopefully you can see this. But yeah, hi management team. After some thought, I decided to withdraw from my studies. Things are going very well for me, and upon further thought, a degree is not needed for me to reach my goals. I've attached and completed my withdrawal form to be processed. Please let me know next steps from here, as well as a confirmation of my withdrawal. I do not wish to speak to a personal tutor first. I have made my decision. Many thanks, Giles. The document is attached. Withdrawal form. Just going to double check this is actually right. Preview. Sending. There we go. It's done. It is done. But yeah, so no plan B, burning the boats, as they say. That is what we're doing here. So the boat is officially burnt. We just got to make it happen now. Right now it is currently 7:24 a.m. in the morning, and I know I was literally saying this yesterday that I'm not going to keep on doing this, and it's not easy. It's not easy to do. And it's not as if I've been doing nothing for the last few hours. We do webinars every Wednesday and every Sunday. And so because of that, we end up staying up quite late typically because we're doing lots of work. So that brings us like 4:30 a.m. anyway. Then I have to do end of day stuff, which takes typically about half an hour. So that's like 5 p.m. But then we're also looking into booking like a private jet for going from Miami to Orlando. So just submitted a few different quotes for that too. So hopefully they'll come back to us like today. Because basically if I can sort that, then we can go by private jet, which is pretty cool. So it's one of those things that's like worth staying up for if I can make that happen. Anyway, I'm gonna head to bed now. I've decided I'm gonna get a haircut in Miami on the Saturday when I arrive. But it's gonna be annoying, so I'm not allowed to work whilst I'm in the US. And so it usually wasn't a problem before because, I wasn't really making as much as I am now. So now it's like it hits harder. So for example, like literally last night, tonight, there's been 21 calls booked in, and I would usually get half of those and share them with another guy, but I got none of those. They've all gone to him. So he's going to stack up a boatload of money, and I'm not really going to get anything out of it, but it does mean I can go to the event. It does mean I can do all that. So I got to be, grateful in the sense that like I can really learn from this event, and so I just got to make sure I take as much out of it as I can.
Hello. Thank you for calling Jet Partners Worldwide, the premier choice for air charter service around the globe. Call is being recorded.
Do you have an aircraft preference? Let me see. You don't have an aircraft preference, so just any light jet?
Yeah, any light jet's fine.
So looking over here, based on availability, it's going to be in the ballpark of the 25,000.
Okay. All right. It's currently late on Thursday. Well, technically early on Friday. It's 5 a.m. right now. Got a flight in about 11 hours time. So I'm gonna get to bed now. I haven't even packed yet. I haven't even started packing, so I need to pack. I always do this. I need to pack all my stuff. So literally gonna go to bed now. Have like 5 hours of sleep. Wake up, have a shave, get showered up, get ready for the travel day, pack my bags, and pretty much go. My brother's gonna be taking me to the airport, and that will commence the start of the next video. So I'm gonna wrap it here for this one. Being a bit of a shorter one, I know. But the next one's going to be all about Miami. I'm just going to be absolute banger. So stick around for the next one. Going to be good to take the next few days off. It's going to be the first time in a while. So yeah, when I say off, I'm still be doing, a good amount of stuff in terms of like learning at this event, doing everything related to business, but just not actually working. So that is the plan. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.